West Tigers fans, we came out to Canberra yesterday, and I believe although we did not win, we have so much to be proud about. I'm breaking down my thoughts on the game and the one player that stood out to me, plus one player that I think needs to go, period. I am over what he's been giving us, and it's time to move on. But before I reveal all that and break that game down, my name is Geordie. I'm a diehard West Tigers fan who lives and breathes all things West Tigers. And if you love the Tigers as much as I do, or footy, make sure you smash that like and subscribe button. Helps me and the algorithm out a ton. So we know last night's game was one of those games where we had a lot of hope, especially going into that second half. The first half we were sitting pretty with them. I think we're 2 points under, and that honestly was a really great feeling, seeing the pressure that we put on them defensively, but also on attack, seeing the free form that we saw out of Jerome Luai, the way that he was making plays happen, the way players were being led, and the way that he was leading the team was really beautiful and really special to me, and I'm so excited for that. So just to break down a few team stats before we break down individual stats, and my goodness, do we have 1, 2, even 3 players that have just absolutely killed it, and I think are on the up and up for our club, and honestly we'll see them play in Origin possibly in a few years. But before we get into that, possession, we held the ball 46% of the time, and we saw a big dip in that second half where we kept making errors in that 20-meter mark off the line, and then they just kept capitalizing on that. But our tackle defense was really on point there, and we held it, but we made it extremely hard for ourselves. Our completion rate was up there with theirs, 75% in the first half. We were in the 90s. We were making crap happen, and I don't know what happened in that second half. It's like we choked. We couldn't keep playing good, simple, just tempoed footy. It felt like we were rushing. It felt like we were getting ahead of ourselves. They were running, but their body couldn't keep up, or their legs couldn't keep up, and that, I think, really hindered us Tigers fans. And if we could have kept that under control, I think we would have seen a whole different outcome from that game. We know that the ref definitely made some iffy calls, didn't make any calls, but I'm not going to blame this game on the ref, because this came down to us. This came down to our performance, our commitment, how badly we actually wanted this, and I just don't feel like that second half was a great way of proving that we wanted to win this game. And so there's lots of different aspects of the game that we need to talk about, and the first one being is Royce Hunt. I think Royce Hunt cost us a try for sure after he kept his hand down on the player. They ended up scoring a try off of that penalty, and then again he had that high tackle where he came around, he just wasn't thinking, and that really is just not a great thing to have when you haven't been playing footy on the first grade for a long time, because of the lack of effort, the lack of energy before, and now you come on and you make these things. I just don't know if I want you on my team at that point, but that's just me. That's me being really critical and really harsh, and I would love to know your thoughts. Are you guys with me on that? Do you think I need to chill out a bit, and do you see Royce Hunt moving forward with us? We all know that he's open to negotiate and talk with different clubs. Do we absolutely or actually let him go? I think absolutely we do. That's just my opinion. Moving on though. So 169 runs, 1,400 meters, 466 post-contact meters, and I got to give huge props there to our prop, Terrell May, which I think he kind of turned it on in the second half. The first half he was a little quiet, but Samuel Afainu, man, he just was going non-stop. We saw 2 line breaks, 34 tackle breaks, which was huge, 42.86 average set distance, and this one is a really exciting one, because in the past we've known that we haven't capitalized or completed our sets, right? We haven't made great meters on average, and we're normally shut down pretty quick, especially against a top 4 team, let alone the number 1 team in the comp. And so to see this kind of number in that 40s is huge, because it means we're getting down that field, we're making plays happen, using our back line, getting our forwards, getting those second phase plays, getting those post-contact meters. It was all clicking. We just couldn't get over that line and get out of our heads, in my opinion. Passing, 9 offloads, 413 receipts, 243 passes. We saw them having 35 dummy passes, us only 13. We really did see that, the 35, that's where a lot of their breaks came from. We know that there was moments where we would get drawn into an attacker and our defense would have a gap, and that was all over the place. Kick in, we had 413 meters, 16 kicks, 7 bombs from Latu Fainu. We saw a few from Jerome as well. But I'm being loving Latu's bomb game. I think what I want to see more from him is his punting and chipping. I think if we can get that down pat, we'll see something huge from him. Defensively, I think this was one of our best games, Tigers fans. And the reason why I say that is because when you go up against the #1 team, you can't really expect to come away with a win, but I was somewhat comfortable and confident in that if we were to play good footy like we saw in that first half, we may have scraped by with a win, but we didn't obviously see that. But something we did see was consistent defense, and the defense was honestly one of our best defensive games. The way we were shutting down this top tier team, Papali'i, like those guys there, like those big bodies running through on that try line too. We made it extremely hard, especially in that second half where we were just forcing errors on ourselves and giving them 6 agains, giving them penalties, things like that inside our 20. And so they were having a great opportunity to score. We were shutting down a lot of those opportunities, and so that I think is something we should be extremely proud about. Especially going forward into next year. Like the fact that we can put up that defense now, it's just wild to me, and people thought this was going to be a blowout. I didn't even think it was going to be a blowout for us at all, but we made 385 tackles, 33 missed tackles, which is great, better than them by 1, 16 ineffective. We saw 11 errors, 9 penalties, 6 ruck infringements, 1 inside 10, and we saw 1 on report, and that was Alex Twal, if I remember correctly. Now, just a few players that I want to highlight because of their effort. The first one being, where is he? Samuel Afayeni, man. 32 tackles made at 84.21% tackle efficiency. We see 2 ineffective tackles, and the way that this guy was getting around that ball, getting around attackers, was honestly huge. And then if we look at his run meters, we're talking 112 run meters for 13 runs. Like that is something you want to be proud of for our boy. And then obviously Terrell May right there, 14 for 122. We look at his tackles. He made a whopping 59 tackles, 95% tackle efficiency. That's what you want to see out of your prop. That was huge. Charlie Murray, I want to give huge props to, and Tony Suka. 14 tackles for Tony, 8 for Charlie. Charlie at 100, Tony at 82. But I love Tony's intensity last night and Charlie Murray's intentionality. Like those two were coming out and they were doing huge things. One of you people on my stream said Twali needs to go, and I disagree. We saw 52 tackles from him, 92% a tackle efficiency rate, and although he's not a huge ball runner, he is a defensive unit that we need on our team, and I believe without him we would be in a whole different position. Api Korosai came through as well. We saw obviously a lot of passes being our dummy half, but 92% for 61 tackles. That's huge. That's something we want to praise and give all props to. And then lastly, for the last guy that I want to give some props to is Taylor May, man. Although there was moments he wasn't attacking like we wanted him to, he was defending even better, and we saw a low 90% tackle efficiency with 11 tackles made. He made his tackles count for the one he did, and so that's something I think we should be extremely proud about. So I think some big key takeaways from this game is our defense. It was honestly probably some of the best defense in the NRL this past week. I think some of the best defense in the NRL this whole season, especially for us as a club. Secondly, we need to be better in our second halves. That is a non-negotiable. We were on the front foot, I believe, in that first half. We could have came out and absolutely slaughtered them, but something wasn't clicking. We weren't getting in sync. I don't know if the momentum at that halftime was just off after we were cooking there for a bit, but something needs to change going forward for our second half. And then thirdly, we need to secure the Faianu brothers. Latu, Faianu, Samuela, and Siani. These are the guys of the future for the West Tigers, and we have to secure them. Seeing those kind of meters, those kind of tackles, that kind of attitude out of these boys is huge. Pair that with the May brothers and the Lau'i brothers coming through, this is going to be massive. So Tigers fans, let me know your thoughts. Who is your man of the match? I'm giving it to Samuel Faianu. He's my guy. His running, his tackles, his attitude, his effort, everything about him last night was absolutely beautiful, and I am giving him my man of the match medal. What about you? I'll see you tomorrow in the next video.